policies on two. One, the central government. As you know, the central government by the LDF. As far as the BJP is concerned, how much anti-farmer they are, that can be just concluded in the annual support price increase comparison between the 10 years of UPA and the 12 years of Modi government. For every crop for which the government provides support price, now you have enough time period. You can compare 10 years, how much annual increase BJP is providing. I will just give you example of the Keralam and the LDF policies. Paddy, average of paddy by the UPA annual average increase was 12.6%, wheat 12.2%, and in pulses 21.6%, and moong compare this annual increase in the support price. Paddy 6.9%. Our was, Congress was 12.6%, now it is 6.9%. 2.2%. Now BJP government average annual increase 7.1%. Our was, they are down to 7.2%. And moong, our was, these are pulses. Pulses, ours was average increase of over 10 years was 22.8% every year. Now it is down to 7.9% in last 12 years. This is just an example. The other example is in our policies, and you saw how we brought which helped the agricultural labor on one side, and we went in for a farm loan waiver nationwide of 75,000 crores on one other side. As is concerned, relief to farmers indebtedness. The only loan waiver they have done is corporate loan waiver, corporate write-off, accounting for more than 20. This is shocking. The farm of Keralam. Now I will come to the loan issues. One about the central government, then I'll state LDF issues. One last point about the central government. Farmer mindset is also seen in the US-India trade deal. country, the farm sector, the agriculture sector, the fishery sector has been exposed to international market, open to the international market in such a big way as we have seen the US-India, not have you seen the US-India trade deal. Very clear that it was unilaterally announced by the US, but Indian government completely capitulated. Modi government completely capitulated, because even before it was announced by and in the finance bill of this year's presented by Nirmala Sitharaman, already all the demands of the US on Indian agriculture sector was accommodated in the customs part of the finance bill. For example, shrimps, the custom duty had gone down. Cotton, the custom duty to get accommodate US custom. Fruits, nuts, oil. So already they had accommodated in the country how much capitulation in front of US, ignoring the farmer interest. That is the reality of the BJP government, the Modi government. Now I will come to the Keralam and how and what is the current situation of the farmer. You can already see that the farmer sector, how much deep crisis is there, by just looking at 2-3 things. First, indebtedness. As you know, that has more than double SSO figures, which was the published, the 77th round of NSSO was published in. At that time, farmers in Keralam on average were having the second highest debt in the country across 28 states, second highest debt, after just below Andhra. At that time, the debt, 2019, the debt was per agriculture household 2,42,000 approximately, below the figure in Andhra Pradesh, as the second highest debt indebted farmer, which was in 2019 itself. This was 3 times the national average. Now, this level also has, in the KIFA survey, more than doubled to reaching 5,46,000 average. 79% of all farmers are in debt. Malabar region is most severely affected with 77%. Travancore 70%. Cochin region 68%. LDF is running a state where the farmers are they talk about the farmers. I think it is something, it's a joke when LDF talks about and the Chief Minister talks about farmers. There are time crops and the kind of farm. What is the situation? what the UDF is promising. First, I'll start with the rubber price. As we know, the white gold is in decline. Almost 80% of India's rubber comes from Keralam. And rubber is one of the backbones of Keralam's agricultural economy, particularly in central Travancore. While the market price fluctuates between 200 per kg to 220 per kg, farmers know that minimum of 300 rupees for their cost and making livelihood earning. But LDF government in the last years have completely ignored this and has completely been silent that, but they have completely ignored the rubber farmers who are being, generation is being forced to leave the rubber farming, as you know, and to look opportunities not just outside the sector but outside the country also. The support price under rubber production incentive scheme from LDF is proven inadequate. Our leader Shri Rahul Gandhi ji has also taken this issue very seriously, and so has our party. We are promising to the farmers, the rubber farmers, that this rubber crisis will, along with the LDF crisis in Kerala, and we have pledged, as soon as our government is formed, price rupees per kg.
Statutory subsidy.
So it is not just we will provide it backed by legal guarantee of government of providing it. So this statutory support part is also to be noted. So that is what we are, and we have taken this stand at the central level of the legal guarantee. Legal farmer should get a the support price nationally on all crops, which will also be true for the rubber. So 300 rupees per kg is our promise to the. Now the second, paddy. Paddy farmer is facing and the support price being one of them. We need to know for fully paid to the farmer, and the farmer is exposed to exploitation by intermediaries, private millers. Where deductions by private rice millers are currently demanding higher deductions from the farmers, and there is a nexus enabling a system where private mill owners force desperate farmers to accept unfair procurement. In Kottayam's J Block 9 Padashekaram, farmers farmers were pressurized into accepting 2% procurement discount, which 2 kg of per quintal of paddy. In Thrissur, farmers had recently to agree 5 per quintal. As a compromise after mill owners demanded, I must inform you, this is in various states procured. There is no interference of the private millers. The support price procurement centers across the country where the direct support price is paid and goes in the account of the farmers. Problem with the paddy is the system of payment. First, they are because of these intermediaries. Second, the system of payment. Premium receipts are given for every kg of paddy procured, and this they deposit to the banks who adjust it against their loans, and it takes months for them to. This is a which has ended in almost entire country in every state. In the state of Haryana, where I come from, when the Congress government was there, when our government was there, that to the farmers immediately in 24 to 48 hours after procurement into their account takes place without any intermediary. Congress government and our governments in rest of the country, in Chhattisgarh also, where our government ensured that. So, in Keralam, why the LDF has remained silent of the farmers? A question mark. The third question is about the adequacy procurement price. Even this middleman in the cuts they are taking, I want cut like I said 1.5% in case of Thrissur, 2% in case of Kottayam. Even small process for individual farmers. For example, 2.5% reduction on a 6,590 kg yield results in 164 kg loss for one farmer, amounting to financial hit of. So you can imagine. So they correct the procurement system also, and there is a import price. UDF just like we promised in case of rubber that we will increase it to 300 rupees per kg support price. For paddy, we are promising paddy support price of 35 per kg. And we are also promising a dedicated manufacturing processing unit for paddy farmers to add values to their produce. And we are promising, just like our government when we did in various before, just like our government when we did in various before, within 48 hours of procurement, we are not going to let farmer be prey to the banks system of procurement, where millers, the rice millers the intermediaries and the banks, and this receipt system forces the farmer to get into the debt trap. No, like rest of the country, we are going to, wherever Congress, we are going to come to the rescue of farmers. Now, the other thing, complete, the third point is the complete inaction of wildlife control. Government is completely failed. As you know, the Pinarayi Vijayan government has not deployed any strategy to prevent wild animal-human conflict. This lack of state intervention has defenseless against severe from ruined harvest. Included this point in our manifesto on how we are planning to address this. Now there are some other crises in other crops. Coconut farmers currently cultivating over 7.6 lakh hectares continue to face severe distress. Price volatility, tax, and while central government policies are encouraging cheap edible oil imports, which have weakened the farmers, complicit, LDF complicit with the BJP, completely silent. And agencies meant to support farmers have failed to intervene effectively during price crashes, leaving farmers exposed to market fluctuation. I will give you one example only on this and what we are. During the UDF government, we had 40 to 50 coconut collection centers. Now they've been stopped by the farmers have been completely exposed to private intermediaries. We have the coconut collection centers, reopen them, and to coconut farmers, and also we will fight at the central level. Fight at the central level. This whole policy of importing oil from markets, including America, also extends across spices, pepper, cardamom, tea, coffee, banana, vegetable farmers, all facing rising cost and unstable prices. Price of is increasing. As you know, the cost of fertilizer is increasing. Government has no answer to that, which is an important input for all farming. Government has no answer to that, and leading to the current agricultural crisis. Last point that I will cover, and the fifth point, before one very important announcement also. The fifth point is the demise of agricultural land. To this particular crisis, agrarian crisis in Keralam. One of failed agricultural policy, where it has failed to protect the percentage of population, huge percentage of population which is dependent on agriculture for their livelihood in Keralam. Now, important announcement as we move towards the conclusion of our one more important thing that we will do when we are when UDF government is formed, we will have separate for agriculture. Kerala will be a state where will be for our separate budget for our farmers. Not covered fishery in detail today, but you know here to protect to diesel. I wanted to focus more on the farmer issue so that gets adequately covered. But this particular budget that we will be separate budget we are talking is a budget for our fishermen and our farmers. Separate budget. Kerala will be a unique example. We will do whatever it takes for the betterment of our fishermen and farmer. That's our commitment to the people of Kerala. With that, I'll press conference. If you have any questions, you can.
Talk about this.
Yes.
We are at a place.
Just one minute.
See, I'll conclude the press conference by giving one example. Not just the indebted farmer in the country. Average agricultural household is higher in the country, farmer household. But this one striking, which has been pointed to me, PCC research team. Shri Ambatu Ilyas from Kannada, who was award-winning farmer, having received by Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan. Unfortunately, one of the farmers who committed suicide. Has the government conducted any question is basic investigation? Your award-winning farmer
Financial
liabilities to the of rupees. This indebtedness that I am saying, now this is a human story I am putting. This is leading to all sorts of distress and suicides even. And this year itself, this is the most unfortunate that the award-winning farmer himself, if because of financial liability, thought about why it has happened. Has the LDF thought about why is it happening? So if they are not thinking, be rejected by the people of Kerala.
Yeah, so you were talking about a separate budget for agriculture and fishermen. We are standing at a time when the state is talking about financial constraints, not much revenue coming in. Mainstay for separate budget.
No doubt that the current LDF has led the state of Kerala into a financial also. GDP, the overall debt of state, and that's an issue. But we are confident the separate agriculture list shows our focus on well-being, which we are completely committed to. But certainly our policies will ensure that our state is back on the rails. One of the reasons why we are saying that from the center is the reason why that is not happening is because LDF is completely surrendered to BJP. BJP from the behind the curtains is trying to help LDF. Because of that, whenever it comes to the interest, fighting for the interest of rights of the state of Keralam, LDF completely goes and surrender to Modi ji in Delhi. Central government has not released 2,600 crores payment dues as far as paddy is concerned. That's another figure I will give you. Central government has not released over 2,600 crores pending procurement. This is one example in this sector that I am covering. But overall, you know, the share of central revenue, share of central tax revenues that should be given to Keralam, that is also not as much as the rightful Keralam should get. And LDF government with the as properly. So that is your answer to your point.
And just to add to it, the Life Mission corruption scandal and the gold smuggling protecting Pineri Vijayan. Let's find out who's behind it. Let that money come to the state's exchequer and transfer to the well-being of the farmers. So the money going to Pineri Vijayan's family should be enough to fund this. Is what we strongly believe.
Achha, one last point also I'll say that even the Women Chandi health insurance scheme, the announcement promised 25 lakh health insurance per family. This will also ensure that medical emergency doesn't force a debt-ridden farmer to sell their land and into debt. So UDF's universal health cover will also ensure, see this separate agriculture budget, the support price, all this is to make us our farmer debt free. This separate agriculture budget will provide a path towards prosperity, towards making a farmer and fisherman debt free. When the debt of our Keralam farmer is 3 times, 4 times, 5 times the national average. So certainly there has to be a path for them to become debt free, and this Women Chandi scheme, health insurance scheme, is also going to help in an event which leads to a lot of these farmer families become more indebted.
How are you seeing the elections here? What is your, your assumptions?
My assumption is not based on the feedback that I get from Congress workers, but also private discussions I have with all the leaders across political spectrum. See, I've been in Indian Parliament for 22 years now, this being my 5th term, and I have never seen the LDF so much worried about the future of their government.
Growth of BJP.
So that and we are winning. We are very confident that we will secure a big win.
And the growth of BJP in the state.
In other words, the growth of between BJP and NDA. See, here it may be not that much clear, but from where we sit in the parliament, we see both the players and we see how their interaction is. It is very, very clear. It is not hidden to anyone there that this behind the curtain, here it may be behind the curtain, but in Delhi it's open, out in open. That much I can tell you. So that's the story there.
Union Education Minister has made a statement that the new education policy was made with reference to RSS educational wing with Rathee. For him, educational wing with Rathee has been the reference point since the beginning because he believes that their education policies are very good. So how do you see that statement?
Cat is out of the bag.
Sorry?
The cat is out of the bag, I think.
So certainly that's the case.
It's obvious.
There is nothing. So that's, see, now I'll take what BJP RSS project across the country, which is leading to decline in the standards of education, standards across the country. And it's a key concern for our country. So that goes without saying. And then just changing the syllabus. BJP was given mandate in 2014 to change the future of our country. And somehow they decided to leave the future hanging and went about changing the past of our country. So now you see, they sometimes they create conflicts where they were like Nehruji and Sardar Patel. I don't want to get into all the things that they want to change, but that's, and it's not a surprise to me that in my 22 years in Parliament, our based on him by 22nd year. Every year it is increased. Last 12 years, debate on Nehruji in Parliament is increasing and increasing and increasing. That shows that their focus on is not there. They have to take country back.
AAP has removed Raghav Chadha as the deputy leader, and now he's broken his silence and said that he's been silenced but not defeated. And is it wrong to speak for the common man? That is what he has said.
See, that's the internal party matter. There are certain things that I have to say about this, but this is not the forum. Aam Aadmi Party itself, I don't want to get into that here, but what their role was in Haryana election and Delhi election and all that. But separate, this is not the forum, so I'll avoid it.
Thank you.
Thank you.